I'm Sonia Miller, and I'm a creative. Travel with me throughout the beautiful Laurel Highlands. I'm looking for other makers, people who use their imagination to bring to life an idea, product, or who are creating something that's just plain cool. Let's find and meet them together. Join me as I share their stories. Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Meet the Maker. I'm your host, Sonia Miller, and today I am in beautiful Ligonier here in the Laurel Highlands. Today, I am going to introduce you to a creative making his mark on the world, quite literally, even on the sides of buildings. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey Zach, nice to see you.
Hi Sonia.
Oh my gosh, I can definitely tell a creative lives here.
Yeah.
And check out those pants, like heck yeah. How do we get a set of those pants, Zach?
3 years of painting and just wiping your hands on.
Is that it?
Pants,
so
yeah.
those pants will probably sell. I mean, three years of working on a project like that, they've got to sell for something, and they can probably stand up and walk away on their own, right?
Yeah.
As a creative to a creative, I totally get you there. So I want to introduce you to my friends here. Tell us a little bit about you, who you are.
Hey guys, my name's Zach Sierocki. I've been painting for about 7 years now. Putting it out there in the public for like 5. So. You know, just having fun in the garage and in my house, just painting cartoon characters that I like to see. I like to think that I create stuff that I like to exist in the world today. So, yeah, people just seem to like it, and you know, it works.
Well, how could this not make you smile, right? I definitely see that you love to use bright colors. Do you have like a particular niche that you would call yourself, like a certain type of artist that tends to sway in a certain direction? Like what would you call yourself?
Yeah, so I like to do abstract.
Abstract.
I also like pop culture and cartoon, so I don't know, like a combination of abstract, pop art, pop culture. I don't know, I haven't really developed a term yet, but
yeah, but lots of fun color.
Yeah.
Really cool. Tell us about this piece over here. Only because it's like jumping out at us right now. This is Pikachu, right?
Yeah. So this is my...
I'm a mom. I know. This is Pikachu.
So this is the latest piece that I finished. It started with a background, and there's a lot of finger painting and hand painting because it's so big. And then like 14 hours of line work. I spent so much time perfecting the lines and everything. And I like to think that that's what makes my art different, is just the perfection of the lines. And it's not a quick process. This is a quick process, but this is a very you know, extensive, in-depth line work that you just got to work towards. Cool.
So since we're talking about Pikachu right here, I'm assuming that this one will be up for grabs for anybody who's watching right now and is like, oh my gosh, this is pretty cool. So where does your art go? Like, this is where you work in your garage, I take it.
Yeah.
So where does a piece like Pikachu go now?
Yeah, so this will be at Art All Night in Pittsburgh, which is like a 22-hour art show, and people come in and just circulate all night. And they view different art, and there's no jury or anything, and they can bid on it. So it starts off at a number, and then people can, on their phones, bid on the piece. So this will actually make its way there on Saturday, and that'll be its first public display. So I'm very excited about that.
Cool.
So we may never see it again.
All kinds of places. Well, I think you're pretty special to be able to come in and see you. You know, you're just finishing up the process. It's about to be unleashed into the world, and like you say, you know, you're making things that have never been created. Unless you took the time to put them on canvas, I think that's a pretty amazing thing. Right. So your work goes all over, right? Like you do all kinds of places, even right here in the Laurel Highlands. We've probably even seen your work and not even realized that it's you that's done it,
Very true.
right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the places that we should look to see your work? I'm curious.
Okay, and a lot of coffee shops in Pittsburgh. I just do like a lot of local shows that I incorporate just, you know, with a bunch of different people. And so you'll see like, you know, my piece with like maybe 30 different artists, which is really cool. I have a solo show coming up at the Headkeeper in Greensburg, so it's sort of local. I'll be at the Millvale Music Festival this year, and I'll be doing some live painting there. Also at Art All Night, I'll be live painting with another artist. They just pair you with different people. Yeah, so just all around Pittsburgh. I never know. Sometimes I just get random emails, and I never say no to anybody.
Right.
So
if we see you strolling through like parks around here, like do you go out through? I mean, the Laurel Highlands is an amazing place to get inspired all through this area. Do you tend to find yourself like I heard a rooster here this morning when I pulled in.
We have a chicken.
Is that yours? Okay. And you can hear the birds outside right now. Like, do you feel inspired? We're coming out, you know, at the time of the seasons right now. When you take a walk through the beautiful area that we have, like what makes you tick? How do you go, I'm going to paint this today? You know, because I see while you have some really like pop-ish, like we talked about pop culture, that sort of thing. You've also got some really beautiful like abstract pieces like down here. Like, can we talk about this one right here, that You Are Loved? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's got blues. It almost reminds me like, you know, water. I'm thinking about all the, you know, all the waterways throughout here in the local area. But, you know, what makes you tick and how do you get your inspiration for your pieces?
Yeah, definitely living out here in the mountains, I think, just gives you the peace and the extra time, you know, to do what you want to do. Because you know, I'm in the city quite often, but I feel like when I come to Ligonier and I get to see the stars at night and just the smell of the air, it's just really calming. And you know, I grew up in the city, so I know what that's like. But at the same time, coming back to Ligonier really just gives me the energy to relax and spend 14 hours on lines and stuff. But this one is just a combination of probably my favorite colors, and I really like to use bright colors like you said, but our brains and our hearts and our minds, we connect to these colors. And so I think whenever I use bright colors, it's a feel-good kind of thing. And then to put words on it like You Are Loved just really intensifies that. So I like to not only create things just to exist, but to like bring a happy feeling to it.
A vibe that you get when you look at it. Yeah, absolutely. I've actually often heard that anybody out there ever heard that like when you see like hot dog stands, if you see the colors yellow or red, it makes you hungry. I guess in the same sort of sense, when you see beautiful paintings, it can bring forward like, serenity and just that feeling. You are loved, right? Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful pastels that you've used there. Some beautiful, just how they all come together. I love it. Yeah. So let me ask you, is it hard to do this sort of work? Like, how do you're putting a lot of time into it, and now you're telling me as well that you work on the sides of buildings, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, is there a place here locally that we can go and check out too?
Yeah, Friendship Park. It's like right down the road. I just did it last year. It was like a 15-foot mural where kids can climb. We put climbing holds on the sides, and we painted mountains, and did some abstract. It's mountains, but it's abstract. So they let me have some creative freedom there, but we put climbing holds on there so that the kids can actually climb up one of my paintings. This is a really unique experience, but it's also fun to watch.
Well, we are going to go ahead and go check that out. What do you guys think, right?
Yeah.
So before we leave here and we head down there, I'd love to see you at work. Like when you told me on the phone, like, Sonia, you know what, this is, it's amazing when it's all done, but you're to the point now where you can do these pretty quickly, right?
Necessarily, yeah. And like a couple at a time too. I like to go on like a spree of.
So do we get to see you in action?
Sure.
Heck yeah. All right, sign us up. Let's go check that out. Oh my gosh. Wow, well, you definitely have the most beautiful paint room in the entire world. This is gorgeous. Guys, do you hear that rooster? I think we're getting closer to him, I'm pretty sure. But what you got going on here? I mean, is that like bread?
Yeah.
And a tree, what I would call a tree bough. What would you call it? Tree branch?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just can't wait to see where this goes. All right, I'm just gonna watch. Can I just do that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And
so
tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, so I like to take old paint. Sometimes people even donate paint, which is awesome. Because paint's kind of expensive sometimes, but I like to use old paint because it gives a lot of texture, and then new paint. So I'll just, throw some colors on here until we see something, right? So this is how we get sort of a mixture of colors, and with the different paintbrushes, bread or tree branches, we can get some motion out of it. So put down like a backdrop, and then some colors to blend. So I like to do like a Jackson Pollock kind of paint splatter. I don't want to get your shoes.
Oh, maybe I should stand on your side.
Oh no, you'll be fine.
All right, I'll stand over here.
So I don't want to call it wasting paint, but we just use an excess of paint. So if you're trying to be sparing with your paint, it's probably not going to work out too well. But I like to use bright colors and a lot of different colors, because you never know what's going to happen when you're doing abstract work. So now I'll take my bread, which is I've never done this before, but I just thought.
I've never seen an artist work with a slice of bread.
Yeah. But normally I use my hands and my fingers, which I will do, but I just want to see what happens.
I'm imagining, I mean, bread is like a sponge, right, in a sense,
That's
right?
very true, yeah.
And it's very porous and it's got texture.
Yeah.
Let's see where it goes.
So I'll just, blend the colors together. And a lot of people, they'll ask, like, how did you do that? Or, how did you get this sort of flow of motion or, these colors? And as you can see, it's very carefree and there's not much thought that goes into it. So I've done this before with some branches and ferns from the Laurel Highlands, and made a couple abstract pieces, and you actually get some really cool effects with that. But so that could just be the start of something, amazing, or it could just be something that gets painted over again and just add layers and layers until something good, comes of it.
How do you know when you get into that part? You work through the canvas.
Yeah.
How do you know when you stand back and you go, this is it?
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
You just know. I think once all the colors blend, so there's like a darker set in the background. Now I'll add some lighter stuff on top of it, and usually probably this color scheme will be the end of it, and you'll sort of make it work. If there's a little piece of it that doesn't work, I can always cover it up with a character.
Very, very nice. So, have you always been brainstorming since you've been younger? What could I paint? What could I do? Have you always had that sort of creative juice running through your veins from the very beginnings?
Yeah, it's more of like, what kind of mess can I make and get away with it?
Your mom always loved that, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was always drawing, and I think I found my passion in high school, just being bored in class and just doodling things, and then getting notes from my teachers like, this is really cool, but stop, do the schoolwork. And then I did 3 years of graphic design school in high school too, and I found like I could do design stuff on the computer where I could translate my illustrations onto the computer and then make them bigger, or print them out and make them essentially come alive. So yeah, I was kind of trained that in school, but as far as painting, I really haven't. It's sort of just a thing that I did at home afterward, before I could go to sleep, just to pass time. So.
And when you paint, how does it make you feel?
Fun, and it never feels like work, even whenever people are paying me to do it. So just fun, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
Well, I can see you're like glowing, you got a smile. It's fun to do that sort of stuff, right? And to be able to create. What's really cool, one of the things that I didn't get a chance to tell you guys is that Zach Sierocki here, he has he's still reigning, right?
Oh yeah.
Tell us about your reigning title right here in the area as a visual artist.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right. So I'm the second best.
Yes.
Pittsburgh visual artist as of 2017. So until like August, I hold that title. And waiting for someone to take it off me. We're gonna have to like settle it off in a wrestling match or something.
So what did you paint to be able to win such an amazing award?
Right, so it was up to the people, and you get nominated, and then you go on through voting, and you just get voted in through people. And I think just a lot of friends and great supporters really helped me get that title. So it wasn't anything that I did in particular, it was just the kindness and the support of friends and family. So
very nice. And Zach, while we're talking about that right now and your work, for anybody watching this show right now, where do they get to go see your work? Do they want to see all the cool stuff that you've done? Yeah,
so just Facebook search Zach Sierocki Art, or facebook.com/Sierocki Art. It's a weird last name, but I'm sure you'll find it on here.
Very nice.
And I have a website too, ZachSierockiArt.com.
Very nice. So now we get to go see it in person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's take us to the park.
Okay, let's go.
We're going to the park, people. Well, Zach, you didn't tell me I had to do all these obstacles to get to your work of art here, but it's well worth it. Right. Oh my gosh, love the colors that you used here. Tell us, this is definitely a happy space, right?
Yes. So they renovated the park on Easter last year, and they asked for a mountain scene to embrace the Laurel Highlands, and
makes sense.
And so I used my my color palette and just made a couple quick lines. I wanted to do a very quick thing, but also very colorful to get the kids to run towards the wall. And during the opening, that's exactly what happened. Kids like it was so cool. Kids just ran up and started to climb on my painting. So it's
kids climbing on your painting. This is the time that it is okay to do so, right?
Yeah, right. And you know, there's a protective layer, so all that mud will wash right off, and it's just a great thing to watch happen.
Yeah.
You know, when you made it. There's also you know, just the feeling of excitement when you're actually seeing the kids play, and they have no idea that, you know, somebody took a long time to paint this. It's just, I don't know if they know how it got there, or you know, if it just appeared, or if it, you know, so it's a cool thing to think about. You
know how everybody sees different things when they look at paintings or they look at works of art? You know, I don't know what you were going for here, but in my mind, I see almost like, I see happiness, but I see clouds, and I see kids reaching for the stars, you know, reaching for the sky and doing their thing. I just think this is gorgeous. What do you think that, you know, when kids play on this, what's your hope that they, what do you want them to feel?
Well, so like all of my artwork, I just want people to smile. I want people to be happy. So I think there's so much to do at this park, but I think the color palette here just makes you excited and brings life to it. You know, the color of this wall is very bland, but then, you know, you put some color on it and it just pops, and it brings excitement and fun.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the feeling that I tried to convey there.
Well, I'm really bummed out today that I don't get to climb the wall.
Oh, you can
I know, I totally brought the wrong shoes, Zach.
Okay.
You know, you should have told me. I would have totally climbed that wall. But I can totally manage that wall over there.
Yeah.
Should we go check it out?
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
Cool.
I totally recognize this name right here, and I just happen to be standing next to the man himself. This is really cool, and like I say, a wall that I can definitely conquer, all right? I love what you've done here. Tell us about this.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I was commissioned by the park after this wall to do another one, and I kind of had like a little bit of a free reign to do so. Of course, it had to be approved and everything, but I just used some really you know, friendly, inspiring words for kids to see, and these are the same words that I teach my kids in class. You know, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, and self-control, goodness. They're all words that, you know, even the parents, I think, can resonate. That, oh, we want to get our kids to you know, learn these words. And I think self-control is probably the one that people are like, I wonder why, you know, that's on there. But it's just such a, you know, it's a thing that you should learn, right? And this wall is just, you know, a beautiful just work of not only a lesson for kids, but just, you know, something friendly to look at, and you know, you actually sit on it. It's another one of those interactive art pieces that we do. So
it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that's one of the things that we didn't talk about today is the fact that you also you live your art, right? You get to teach children. Tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah, so I'm a youth and education coordinator for the church in town, and I get to work with kids from preschool to you know, senior high. So I get to, you know, the whole variety of the different kinds of kids in the mindsets. But yeah, I really like to expand on the creativity of the kid, and you know, what their gifts are, whether it's music. I also play drums, so I like to expand on that and teach that anytime that I can. And you know, these words. But mainly, I think that, you know, my gift obviously is art. I think that, you know, God gave me that talent. So to use that and to give it to somebody else, I think is just a great, it's a responsibility, but it's also like a great gift, you know, to give. So, you know, God gave you these gifts, and so you should give them. Well,
we are thankful that you tap into your gifts. You not only, you now help foster and flourish it and help it to blossom into other young people, which is, I think, is absolutely fantastic. And we're so glad that you were able to take all those creative gifts that you have inside, to bring them out, to make them visual for us to be able to enjoy.
Yeah.
And speaking of enjoying, one last thing I wanted to ask you. I believe that you're in a book that's coming out too, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget to tell us about that goodness.
Yeah, right. So it's called The Contemporary Art of Excellence book, and it's coming out, I think, like May 15th or something. It'll be for sale at Barnes & Nobles, like Kindle. You can download it on your phone, Amazon, you know, like all around the world. So it's a combination of artists from all around the globe, And just to be a part of that is a huge deal, coming from like such a small town, or even a big city. It just there's people from Japan and Germany in this book, and so it's just really exciting. But yeah, check it out. It's a good read. It gives a description of the artist and also a list of their work. So
well, we think you are a huge deal. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to let us come hang out with you for a little bit. Thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you very much, Sonia.
And remember, don't forget to eat the bread.
Yes.
Don't forget not to eat the bread,
Don't
rather.
eat the bread.
Don't eat the bread. Don't eat the bread.
Don't eat the bread.
Okay, all right. When there's a knocking inside, sometimes you've just got to answer. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Meet the Maker. My name is Sonia Miller, and I will be back because you know what time it is, right? It's time to hit the road, find another creative, and who knows, I might be coming to your neighborhood next. Stay tuned.